Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I really hope you guys like that little cinematic there. I spent a lot of time working on it, just trying to get it in sync with the music, and I think it turned out pretty well. Probably what you can tell though is it's a creeper farm, and it's a big creeper farm. This entire farm, or the massive perimeter, is a 512, I think diameter. So 256 blocks radius, and it's just absolutely massive. And you can tell I did the pixel art here. And that's actually for here. I did the map, and actually everything is perfectly centered within the area. So you can see all of the blocks, and then of course my logo in the middle. Yeah, so I think it turned out really well. Obviously this is in 1.18.1. And obviously in the version it screws up a lot of things, and I know a lot of people were incredibly angry about, at least in the technical world, about the world height being pushed on here. I'm just going to turn off these shaders because it is getting, even running I think 6 gigs worth of RAM on here, so yeah. And a lot of people were angry because with farms, subchunks, and all those other technical terms, it ruined them. So now when you're doing a farm, you have to make sure all the areas are, nothing can spawn in them. So I had to fill all these blocks, and obviously this isn't in survival. If it was, it'd be a massive feat. This is just to showcase it. You can see the floor, but you have to make sure, again, like I said about spawn proofing everything. You can see the floor's actually got a layer of glass on top of it, obviously because mobs can't spawn on transparent blocks. So when I originally built the farm, I had this slab roof, but then I decided I want to do the pixel art, so I made that. So yes, technically the rates would be better if this was 1 block lower, or if I didn't have this pixel art at all. Obviously, because the less blocks that you have on top of spawning spaces, the more efficient the mob farm actually gets. You can see here I probably could have pulled some of this farm out a little bit more just with the 128 block radius, but a couple more 100 spawning spaces wouldn't have made a difference. You can tell the farm's actually not working right now. It's because it's on peaceful mode, so nothing will be spawning. I'm using the same trick with slice portals, again updates abreast, that I used with my slime farm. Again, just so you're not pushing them around and it gets really complicated really quickly. Actually, I don't think I've said this yet. This farm produces 75,000 items per hour. The main contributing factor to that is the sub chunks. So if we turn on the chunk borders and see we're in a chunk. But for those of you who don't know, inside of chunks there are sub chunks. So you can see here. Actually, where is it? I designed this farm 1.17.1, so the lines aren't going to match up properly. If I built this at the very bottom of the world, which would have been a lot of work to do, it would have been within the first sub chunk. You can see this one's even within the first sub chunk. And actually, no, here it is. This is the sub chunk layer. By doing that, the game doesn't have to count or make attempts at as many spawning spaces. It just makes an attempt in any one of these. Yes, 1, 2, 8 different blocks, and then it tries them. Whereas if you had multiple, it can get a little complicated, and it will never run nearly as efficiently. A lot of farms have issues with killing the mobs in the first sub chunk, which is almost impossible because you want to get the mob out of the world as quick as possible. We never actually reached the mob cap on here because it's just that quick. It's constantly kicking the creeper off its spawning space and into the portal, so we never have to worry about reaching the mob cap, and then rate slowing down. So in that aspect, the portals are extremely good. You're going to see the bats. Don't worry about the bats. They've actually got a completely different mob cap. They can have 15 in the world. whereas hostile mobs are completely different. So with the bats, yes, you can probably get the rates a little bit higher with the lag by creating a bat switch where you just load them in lazy chunks. Seems like we're missing a block there. That's weird. But yeah, there's not really a lot you can do with the bats, and for me, I just decided, you know what, it's not a big deal. Might as well keep them in here. And that's why they're there. So you can tell this farm, it utilizes the perfect 128 radius, and then it's actually another 15 blocks just to ensure that there's no light in the spawning spaces. So you can see here, this is actually our spawn point. I know I'll get the comments saying, yeah, by standing here, there's areas within like the 23, 24 radius where mobs can't spawn because they're too close to you. I really don't care. There's just so many spawning spaces that it doesn't matter. I know you can go really crazy with it and engineer some weird stuff, but that wasn't my goal with this farm. So you can see they all fall into these portals, and the actual design for these is really simple. You can tell when anything activates the tripwire. So if they kind of spawn there, then they can spawn on tripwires. Just to make sure that spiders don't spawn, that's why we have those walls there. But once they spawn, they activate the tripwire, and that tripwire activates this sticky piston just from below, and then we push over the trapdoor. And that's the only way that we can only guarantee creepers, is because by having the trapdoor, since they're a little bit lower of a height. I think they're 0.95 of a block, so 1.95 blocks tall, and that's why we have that there. Gee, it might be like 1.8. I don't know how many of those could probably fit. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe? Yeah, I won't get into that. And then obviously they get pushed, and then they fall into the portal. Now this is where it gets difficult. You can see just how many bats have entered. Again, it's not going to matter. This is where it gets difficult. So this portal is actually linked to our AFK spot, and all the portals within 128 blocks link to this one. So this is where you have to be quite precise. So all you do is you take your X and Y values. So I think it's like right here. You take them in the overworld, and then you divide each one by 8 except for your Y value, and then they'll always link to the portal in here. That way, whatever portal that the creepers fall into, they just come out of this one, even though there's like thousands of portals. Maybe not thousands, but hundreds. Again, like I said, you can create a bat switch. You could probably even like use this. Maybe when the farm isn't running, you bring all the bats here, and then you put them in lazy chunks. This farm is actually so quick because you have a constant stream of creepers that are falling down. That's why we have this. This is just using carpet mod to count item drops, but you'd have to have an insanely fast storage system in order to process all of the gunpowder coming in here. Like I said, like 75,000 is a lot. And then again, with the perimeter, you kind of have to do this. It's to make sure that when a mob comes through a portal, they don't create another portal in here. So if there's no place for them, like, they'd have to have a physical solid block in order for a portal to be created. So by taking all those chances out, all of them are just coming through there. So I might as well turn on the farm and show you guys how it works. You're not going to see a ton because it's spread out over such a large area. But I mean, hopefully we can get a glimpse of a couple falling through. So what we'll do is I just have difficulty set to peaceful, so nothing's going to spawn. We'll just wait for this world to load in. And then we'll go / player creeper _farm spawn. This is using carpet mod. It's, again, really useful for testing farms. So you can see now we can keep him there. And what we can do is we can go /log mobcaps. See 77, 74. That's not right. So you can see just how many. If you look on the pink number, 950, 975, 981. Those are the amount of bats that are in the world currently. Like, that's just crazy. So what I'll do is I'll go like that. So now the only thing in this world that's loaded is this area. It's just being loaded around that bot. So now what we can do is we can turn the farm on. You can't really turn off a farm in a normal world. By doing this, I just set it to peaceful. That way, mob spawning is pretty much turned off. You could also go game roll slash mobs or slash game roll mob spawning, and then just go false, and that would also turn it off. It should be. Yeah, there we go. You can see one's falling. So if you look in the top left, you can see we only have 23 in the world at a sec. Like 29, 21. But that's because they're only in the world for a second, and then they immediately make way in the mobcat for new places. You can see they're just constantly falling down. It only takes like a second. That's why this farm is super quick. It's because we give them a ton of spawning spaces, and then what we do is we push them out of the world as quickly as possible. So there's always about 30 creepers in the world at a second, but think about that, like, that's pretty much 30 creepers a second. So now if we go /log, let's go TPS just to make sure everything's running smoothly. Let's go /counter reset. 72, 75, there we go, 77, 69, 72, 79, 79, 78, 75, 75. So you can see just how quickly, like, we're getting a stack every like 3 seconds, and that's how quick this farm is. Yeah, that's essentially how the farm works. I think one of the coolest things for me though is going in here, and you can see just how many come out a second, and it is just carnage. Like, you can see there's probably packet spawning happening, and that's why I love this farm. It's a lot of work to do, obviously, but like, it's so worth it. Like if we go 66, 67, I did run this farm straight for an hour, and we did get 75 as a consistent number. So that's the number you can trust. And you can just see the amount of them are coming down. It's just hilarious. Yeah, I'm really proud of this farm. Just go back to the overworld and give you guys some closing statements. I really hope you guys did enjoy this one. It's probably been one of my favorite farms to do. It didn't take me too long to set everything up. There we go. See our little bot guys still here. Yeah, if you guys want to get bots like this, download the carpet mod, and that also allows you to count items and all that fun stuff. Yeah. And if you guys really did enjoy this, consider subscribing. Helps me out a ton. That's all I have for you today. It's just such a big farm. I can barely get to fit in the photo and it all load. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed. If you want to see more like this, consider subscribing. Helps me out a ton. But again, that's all I have for you today. So I'll see you in the next one.